Are you intrigued by cases that keep people debating even decades later? The Laci Peterson case is one such mystery that has captivated the public's imagination for years. It's a story filled with twists and turns, heartbreak and controversy, and it continues to spark heated discussions and debates. Stick around as we dive into the Laci Peterson case, a case that has seen new revelations and documentaries that have reignited public interest. Laci Peterson was from Modesto, California, and 8 months pregnant when she disappeared on December 24, 2002. She was a vibrant young woman, eagerly anticipating the birth of her first child, a son she and her husband had already named Connor. Her sudden disappearance on Christmas Eve sent shockwaves through her community and quickly became a national news story. Her husband, Scott Peterson, reported her missing, and the case quickly grabbed national headlines. Scott's demeanor and actions in the days following Laci's disappearance raised suspicions among both the public and law enforcement. He appeared calm and collected, which many found unsettling given the circumstances. Scott was closely monitored by police, and in April 2003 the bodies of Laci and their unborn son Connor were discovered in San Francisco Bay. The discovery was a devastating blow to Laci's family and friends, who had held out hope that she might still be found alive. The condition of the bodies suggested a violent end, and the focus of the investigation quickly turned to Scott. Scott was arrested and charged with their murders. The arrest marked the beginning of a legal saga that would captivate the nation. The evidence against Scott included his extramarital affair with a woman named Amber Frey, who came forward to reveal that Scott had told her he was a widower, even before Laci's disappearance. His trial in 2004 captivated the nation, leading to a guilty verdict and a death sentence in 2005. The trial was a media circus, with every detail scrutinized and debated. The prosecution painted Scott as a cold-blooded killer who wanted to be free of his responsibilities to start a new life, while the defense argued that the evidence was circumstantial and that Scott was being unfairly targeted. But the story didn't end there. The case continued to evolve, with new information and legal battles keeping it in the public eye. Scott's legal team has worked tirelessly to appeal his conviction, arguing that he did not receive a fair trial and that new evidence could exonerate him. Scott has always maintained his innocence, and new developments continue to emerge. His defense team has pointed to potential alternative suspects and has raised questions about the handling of the investigation. They argue that the media frenzy surrounding the case created a biased environment that made it impossible for Scott to receive a fair trial. In 2020, his death sentence was overturned, although his conviction still stands. The decision to overturn the death sentence was based on concerns about the jury selection process, with the court finding that potential jurors were improperly dismissed. This ruling has opened the door for further appeals and has given Scott's supporters renewed hope. Two new documentaries, American Murder Laci Peterson on Netflix and Face to Face with Scott Peterson on Peacock, have reignited interest in the case. These documentaries offer different perspectives on the case, with American Murder focusing on the prosecution's evidence and the impact on Laci's family, while Face to Face provides a platform for Scott and his supporters to present their side of the story. American Murder highlights the prosecution's evidence and Laci's family's heartbreak, showcasing the emotional toll the case has taken on those who loved Laci. The documentary delves into the details of the investigation and the trial, presenting the evidence that led to Scott's conviction, while Face to Face offers Scott's perspective and his family's claims of wrongful conviction. This documentary features interviews with Scott from prison, as well as conversations with his family and legal team. They argue that Scott is the victim of a miscarriage of justice and that the real killer is still out there. Despite these conflicting narratives, Laci's family firmly believes in Scott's guilt. They have been vocal in their support of the prosecution and have expressed their frustration with the ongoing appeals and the attention given to Scott's claims of innocence. For them, the evidence is clear, and they continue to seek justice for Laci and Connor. The ongoing legal battles and fresh evidence, like jailhouse phone calls and a burned van, keep the public hooked. These new pieces of evidence have added more layers to an already complex case, and they have fueled further speculation and debate. The jailhouse phone calls in particular have been scrutinized for any clues that might shed light on Scott's true involvement. The Laci Peterson case remains a haunting reminder of the devastating impact of violence against women and the complexities of the justice system. It has sparked conversations about domestic violence, the media's role in high-profile cases, and the challenges of ensuring a fair trial in the face of intense public scrutiny. Whether you're convinced of Scott's guilt or believe there's more to the story, one thing is certain: this case isn't going away anytime soon. The Laci Peterson case continues to be a topic of fascination and debate, and as new developments emerge, it will undoubtedly remain in the public consciousness for years to come.